Hi, I'm Morgan Kolasa. I play for the TRU women's volleyball team, and I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
Morgan, why did you choose Thompson Rivers University as a place to go for your post-secondary education?
When I was thinking about starting my post-secondary career, I was interested in getting out of Alberta. Wasn't too interested in going to the States, and I knew I wanted to play volleyball. So I looked into coming to BC and came and toured TRU, fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the program that I was in, and I hit it off with Keith, and the volleyball team recruited me, and it all kind of worked out, fell into place.
Nice. What was your initial impression of Kamloops? Because it's a lot smaller, obviously, than Calgary.
It was a little underwhelming, actually, coming from a big city to a small town, but it's really grown on me, and I love the small town mentality. I love Kamloops. It's definitely grown on me.
You've stayed here during the summer. You worked and done camps and stuff like that. What's the appeal of a smaller market like Kamloops rather than going to university in Calgary?
From a university perspective, I have small classes, it's intimate, I can get to know my teachers, I love going out grocery shopping and you run into people you know. That doesn't happen in big cities like Calgary, and it's really intimate and I love it.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about being part of the Wolfpack program. You've unfortunately suffered some injuries, but so you've been here with the program for the last few years. What are the benefits of it?
I love having the support system. I mean, I have my support system in Calgary, I have my friends, my family there, but I love being able to come here and have my Wolfpack family. You know, it's togetherness, it's kind of a beautiful thing, as cheesy as that sounds, but I love having my family of my 12 girlfriends on my team.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you guys, or you girls, I should say, are very, very close, are you not?
Yeah, and I've definitely developed some really good relationships over the past couple of years with girls that I've developed with these past 2 years, and it's been pretty wonderful.
Do you have an average week during? Let's talk about in the preseason. Do you practice every day during the season? How often do you practice, and how do you fit the school in?
We practice every single day unless we're traveling. We'll generally get one rest day a week after a tournament or after games. Fitting school around that can be a little bit difficult. I mean, but that's another one of the appeals of TRU being such a small town, or such a small university, is I can talk to my profs and get caught up, and you have friends in the class because the class is so small, and you're able to keep up just with these connections you make in the classes, and you're able to fit it in. You get it all to work out.
You're into your third year of school, so traditionally, have you been taking, do you take 4 courses a semester, or 3, or how does that work?
I take 4. I think taking 5 might be a little difficult to juggle with practices. I mean, sometimes we are forced to miss practice when we can't get our schedule around it, and we do miss class because we're going out of town on tournaments, and yeah, but I wouldn't recommend taking any more than 4 courses. It's tough.
What program are you in, and why did you choose that?
I'm currently in my arts program with a science, so my plan is to transfer into the education program. So I'm in biology right now as my teachable, and I'm planning on kind of becoming an elementary school science teacher. Nice. Yeah.
You like to cook. Tell me about that. And you were just saying before we turned on the camera here, you cook almost every day.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got into this healthy lifestyle thing as soon as I came here and became, being an athlete was such a huge deal. It comes with the lifestyle of healthy eating, working out. So I really got into this cooking, and I've always enjoyed it. I took cooking classes when I was younger, and it's kind of something at the end of the day I can look forward to going home, making a nice meal and enjoying it, because who doesn't love food?
No kidding, we all love food. So what are your favorite foods?
Oh gosh, that's ice cream.
Ice cream. How do you cook that?
No, for meals, I think my favorite thing to make. I love soups. I find with soups and the chilies, you can be so experimental. You don't have to follow these guidelines like baking. You have to put a half a cup of flour, but when you're cooking, you can kind of just throw things together and kind of wing it almost. You don't need to follow a set instructions, and I kind of enjoy that adventurous side of cooking.
You touched on the fact that your teammates also become your best girlfriends. So do you have get-togethers, or maybe at your house, do you cook, do you have potluck, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we do. I've actually been planning one for a while now, and we always hang out outside of practices, outside of games, whether we're all going over having potlucks, or even just going to the beach and playing some volleyball together.
What was it like going back to your hometown of Calgary as a member of the Wolfpack?
It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of like a nice change, and it's really interesting to see how the town I grew up in for 18 years has changed over the past year, and how I've changed and grown as a person, and how my friends and family and the town has changed. And it's a different world, and I mean, I'll go home for a weekend, and I've always looked forward to coming back to Kamloops.
Right. Let's talk about your team a little bit. Who's the best dancer?
Oh, it's hard. I would have to say Julia Nimcheska. She can break it down, and I mean, she's not afraid to. Every day in the team room, I look forward to her busting out her moves.
Tell us about the team room. Like, do you have the music cranked before practice, that sort of thing?
Sometimes it kind of depends on the atmosphere. You know, sometimes you'll have those days where everyone's tired. It'll be a Thursday. We've been practicing all week, and we'll be drained, and we're kind of working on getting that mentality of bringing in the music and getting amped up before practice. But before games, it's generally the music's cranked, we're dancing, we're getting pumped.
Nice.
Yeah.
Practical jokers? Do you have anybody on your team that likes to do something like that?
No, not so much. We don't really place jokes on each other. We do have some of the sarcastic girls like to crack jokes at each other. I mean, all of us aren't afraid to kind of pick on each other a little bit, but only in a fun manner.
Nice. Morgan, what words of advice would you have for a parent of a potential athlete or an athlete that's looking to go to TRU? Why should they come here and be a member of the Wolfpack?
I think it's really important to have, as I mentioned earlier, like that family mentality. I mean, you're going to have a support system as soon as you come and play for an athletic team, and the Wolfpack athletics do it really well. Advice I'd have to give is be prepared to work hard. You will be pushed to your limits because, I mean, being a student athlete isn't easy, but it's also a lot of fun. It's a great thing to participate in, and I would recommend it to anyone who's willing to work hard.